The trauma pager went off at 2:17 a.m. Female, mid-20s, severe internal bleeding. Car accident. I walked into the ER, pulling on my gloves, already focused on the scans, until I looked at the patient's face. And my entire body went cold. Because lying on that stretcher was my sister, the same sister who told my parents I dropped out of medical school. The same sister who cost me my entire family. And now, I was the only surgeon who could save her. If you've ever been betrayed by someone who should have protected you, if you've ever been silenced while someone else controlled the narrative, this story is for you. Subscribe and stay with me, because this isn't just about revenge. It's about the moment the truth finally speaks for itself. I wasn't the golden child. That role belonged to my younger sister, Ava. Ava was charismatic, emotional, dramatic in a way that made people want to rescue her. Teachers adored her. Relatives praised her. My parents revolved around her moods, like satellites. I was the steady one, quiet, focused, driven. When I got into medical school, it was the proudest moment of my life. I still remember holding the acceptance letter, my hands shaking, my mom crying. "You're going to be a doctor," she said, hugging me tightly. For a moment, I felt chosen too. Medical school wasn't glamorous. It was 3 a.m. study sessions. It was falling asleep over anatomy flashcards. It was surviving on caffeine and stubbornness. I struggled sometimes. Of course I did. Everyone does. But I never quit. I never even considered quitting. During my second year, I got a call from my dad. His voice was different. Cold. Controlled. "Why didn't you tell us?" "Tell you what?" I asked. "That you dropped out." My stomach dropped so hard I felt dizzy. "What? I didn't drop out." A pause. "Ava said you called her crying. That you couldn't handle it. That you were embarrassed to tell us." I felt heat flood my face. My pulse in my ears. "That's not true," I said. "Dad, I'm literally on my way to a lab right now." Silence. Then, "Your sister wouldn't lie about something like that." That sentence, it cracked something inside me. Your sister wouldn't lie. Translation, you would. They didn't ask for proof. They didn't ask for transcripts. They didn't ask to visit campus. They chose her version. Within weeks, the call slowed, then stopped. When tuition assistance was discussed, they said they couldn't justify supporting someone who wasn't committed. I sent them screenshots of my grades. No response. I invited them to visit. No response. Ava blocked me. Blocked. Like I was the villain. I later found out she'd told extended family too. That I'd had a breakdown. That I was lost. I walked across campus one day after hearing that and had to sit on a bench because my legs were shaking. It wasn't just a lie. It was identity theft. She took the thing I'd worked for my entire life and erased it. 4 or 5 years I was alone. They missed my white coat ceremony. They missed my residency graduation. They missed my wedding. When I sent an invitation, it was returned unopened. There is a very specific kind of pain in watching your classmates hug their families after milestones while you pack your things quietly and drive home alone. I told myself something every night during residency. One day, my work will speak louder than her lies. I stopped trying to defend myself. I stopped chasing people who had already decided I was disposable. Instead, I studied harder, trained harder. I specialized in trauma surgery, long nights, brutal shifts, life or death decisions. There's something clarifying about holding someone's beating heart in your hands. It shrinks petty drama down to size. But some nights, when the hospital was quiet, I still thought about it. About how easy it had been for them to believe her. About how quickly I'd been replaced in their hearts. Then came that night. 2:17 a.m. 25-year-old female. MVC, severe abdominal trauma. I glanced at the name on the chart. Ava. For a second, I thought it had to be coincidence. It wasn't. When they wheeled her in, blood soaking through gauze, her face pale under fluorescent lights, I felt something primal. Shock, anger, grief, memory. Behind her, frantic and panicked, were my parents. 5 years older. 5 years grayer. My mother saw me first. Her eyes widened like she'd seen a ghost. My father's jaw literally slackened. They stared at the name stitched onto my scrubs. Dr. Elena Carter. Trauma surgery. No one said anything. There was no time. She's crashing, a nurse said. And just like that, the past didn't matter. Because I took an oath. I pushed everything down and focused. Prep or now, I said. My voice was steady, clinical. Inside, my heart was pounding like it was trying to escape my ribcage. In the operating room, under the bright lights, it was just me and the damage. A ruptured spleen, internal bleeding, complications. Hours passed in a blur of suction, clamps, sutures. At one point, her blood pressure dropped sharply. "Come on," I whispered under my breath. Not like this. Not because I forgave her, but because I refused to let my story end in tragedy. I stabilized her, closed the incision, stepped back. She was alive. When I walked into the waiting room, my scrubs still marked with faint stains, my parents stood up so fast their chairs scraped loudly. My mom was crying before I said a word. "She's stable," I said. Silence. My father's eyes were red. You're a surgeon," he asked quietly. There it was. The truth undeniable. Not defensive. Not emotional. Just fact. Yes. My mom covered her mouth. "We thought," she started. "I know what you thought," I said. And I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. That was the power of the moment. I didn't need to argue. The evidence was stitched into their daughter's body. "She told us you dropped out," my father said, voice breaking. "We asked her so many times." "And you never asked me," I replied. That landed. You could see it hit him physically. 5 years of birthdays, holidays, milestones, gone. Because it was easier to believe one narrative than to confront conflict. My sister woke up 2 days later, when she saw me in her hospital room, her face drained of color. "You," she whispered. "Yes," I said calmly. She started crying. "I didn't think." "I know," I said. "You didn't think. That was the problem." She eventually admitted it. Jealousy. She'd struggled academically, felt overshadowed, thought if I failed, she'd finally shine. She never imagined it would spiral that far. But lies grow, and people choose comfort over confrontation. My parents apologized, more than once. But here's the thing about betrayal. An apology doesn't rewind time. They missed my life. They missed who I became. Saving her wasn't revenge in the explosive sense. It was something colder, more satisfying. It was proof. Undeniable. I didn't need to argue my worth. I didn't need to defend my name. I walked into that ER as the daughter they threw away, and walked out as the only reason their other daughter was alive. That kind of truth doesn't need volume. It just stands there, unshakable. The moment my father said, "We were wrong," I felt something unclench inside me. Not joy, not triumph, validation. They had built 5 years of distance on a lie. And in one night, that lie collapsed under surgical lights. I didn't scream. I didn't say, "I told you so." I didn't need to, because I was living proof. Sometimes revenge isn't destruction. Sometimes it's becoming so undeniable that the truth forces its way into the room. I lost 5 years. I lost trust, but I gained something else. Self-reliance, strength, clarity. And when life gave me the ultimate test, I chose integrity over bitterness. That's the kind of revenge that lasts. If this story moved you, hit like and subscribe for more real stories of resilience and justice. And tell me in the comments, could you have saved someone who destroyed your reputation? Because sometimes the greatest revenge isn't hurting them back. It's proving they were wrong all along.